I will never forget what happened that night. Even today, I remember that night, and a strange sensation runs through my body. This incident happened a few years ago when I was living alone in an old house in my village. The house had been vacant for a long time, and people said that strange things were happening there. But I didn't believe those things, at least not before that night. The night was over. It was almost 2 o'clock on the clock. It was completely silent outside, except for the occasional barking of dogs. I was lying in my room using the mobile when suddenly the power went off. The whole house was plunged into darkness. I thought it was normal. The power goes out often in the villages. I lit the flashlight and sat on the bed. Suddenly, I felt as if someone stepped gently outside into the yard. "Who is it?" I called loudly, but there was no answer. My heart started beating faster. I slowly moved towards the door and shined the flashlight outside. The courtyard was empty, but there was a strange feeling, like someone was watching me. I closed the door and came back to the room. I was just sitting when there was a light knock on the door. Thuk, thuk. My breath stopped. "Who is it?" I asked again, but this time in silence. Now fear had entered my heart. I plucked up the courage to open the door. There was no one outside. As I closed the door, I heard a soft whisper behind me. "Why did you come here?" I immediately looked back, but the room was empty. Now my hands were shaking. I tried to convince myself that maybe it was my illusion, but my heart was not ready to accept it. I quickly tried to lie down on the bed, but as I lay down, I felt someone moving slowly under my bed. My courage was answered. I got up with a jerk and moved away from the bed. The room was completely silent, but the feeling was still there, like someone was very close to me. Suddenly the window opened automatically. A gust of cold air blew in, and at the same time a shadow appeared on the wall. I turned the flashlight towards it, but there was nothing. Now I was convinced that this was not normal. I ran to the door to get out of the house, but the door was locked from the inside. I pushed, but he didn't open. Then the same voice came again, this time louder than before. "This is my house. You can't stay here." Darkness appeared in front of my eyes. I opened the door with all my might and ran outside. As I reached the courtyard, I saw a dark shadow standing by the door. His eyes were red, and he was staring at me. I screamed and ran out into the street. I ran that night without looking back until I reached my friend's house. When we went back the next morning, the house was as if nothing had happened. The door was open, the room was fine, but there were strange marks on the dirt under the bed, as if someone had moved there overnight. I never set foot in that house after that day. Even today, when I remember that night, one question echoes in my mind. If it was all my imagination, then whose were those marks under the bed? If you like the story, then subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon next to it so that you get regular notifications of my upcoming videos.